A very good afternoon to all the students. So in this session we are planning to discuss some of the introductory terminologies that are related to the cryptography, right? So as we know that our subject is the PCNS, which stands for the Principles of Cryptography and Network Security. So we can divide it into two parts, that is the cryptography is one part, and we can the second part can be related to the network security, right? So we'll see what are the introductory terminologies. We should be very familiar with the terminologies, right? So we start our discussion with what actually is a cryptography, and what are the various categories of cryptography we have in the existence, and we'll discuss everything with some examples. So we are concentrated more on the cryptography. And coming to the network security, as you know that the security issues and the security mechanisms are everything related to the cryptography only, right? So we will achieve these security concepts with the help of this cryptography. So under this network security, we discuss various technologies or various techniques that are used to secure the network. So anybody tell me what do you mean by a network? What do you mean by a network?
Nothing but connecting group of devices, sir.
Right. So connected computers or connected devices or connected components, we can say anything that is connected to each other, we can call them as the network, right? So what is the biggest network you come across in your daily life? What is the largest network?
Mobile devices. Mobile network, sir.
What is that one?
Internet, sir.
Internet, right? Very good. So internet is the largest network, where we can say that it is a network of networks. It is a network of networks. So if you take 4 systems, for example, you take 2 computers, you connect these 2 computers, this is a network. Or you take some 3 systems and you connect everything to the communication channel, so that it enables the communication between these 3 systems. Similarly, you take another system which consists of 4 or 5 systems, and you connect everything to the communication channel. So this we consider as one network, and this is also considered as a network, and this is also considered as a network. Like that, you can combine or you can connect any number of computers or any number of devices. So when we connect more number of devices, more than 2 devices, then we can call it as a network. And assume that this network which consists of 5 systems, and this network which consists of 2, and the network which consists of 3 systems are again connected with another network. So this we call it as network of networks, which we can simply say it as the internet. Right. So there is another term called as intranet. What do you mean by intranet? Any idea on this one? Inter is different from the intra.
It is a private network, sir.
Super, right. Intranet can be considered as a private network. For example, you people sitting in the lab, and every system in the lab, every system is connected to each other, right? We have a network of some 60 systems, and this particular network is framed or designed for the internal purpose usage. So such type of networks we call it as the intranet. And the internet, so network of different networks. Inter means different, intra means similar, right? So if you connect different networks to form another network, we call it as an internet, right? So there should be some difference between, you should understand what this internet is and what this intranet is. So when we have this network, there are a lot of possibilities for the vulnerabilities to happen. So there are a lot of attackers that are sitting around the internet, and they try to capture our data. They try to capture our confidential information. So it's a human psychology that everybody is interested in the other's information. So it's not for that particular human psychology sake, but there are a lot of confidential information that happens in the country, or that happens in the military. So when that information is passed from one place to another place, there are attackers sitting in the internet, and they try to capture that confidential information so that they can do some militant activities, right? Which can spoil the financial status of the country, like that. So the techniques that we use, or the security professionals use to secure those networks, comes under the category of the security, right? So under this network security, there are a lot of topics which we can discuss, right? You can discuss about the firewalls. So firewalls protect the networks from the external internet traffic. From the external traffic, our network will be secured by making use of these firewalls. Similarly, another topic that we can discuss under this network security is access management. So we know what we mean by access. So there are a lot of resources that are available over the internet. To whom you are providing the access rights, to whom you are providing. For example, if you have a server system in your lab, that server system may have different access rights depending upon the designation. As a student, you cannot make modifications in the server, so you will be given access rights only to access the server. But as a faculty member, I can access the server and I can make necessary modifications for the files that are present inside the server, right? So like that, if we take another person who is a IT manager, he can do more number of actions, or he can access the files, and he can modify the files, and he can execute the programs. Like that, there are different access rights depending upon the role of a particular person. That particular concept is called as access management. How you are going to give different access rights to different persons, that is based on the access management. Similarly, the wireless security, another term that comes under this one is wireless security, right? Nowadays, this wireless security is the most prominent research area, right? So you are going to transfer everything, or most of the transformations, or most of the information transfer from one place to another place is taking place wirelessly. So how you are going to secure those wireless communications? That is treated as the wireless security concepts. Similarly, we have malware protection, malware detection and prevention. Like that, what do you mean by malware? So we have different problems that comes when we discuss about these networks, right? We have malwares, we have spywares, we have viruses, we have worms, right? So these are all the different problems that we come across these networks, right? So we can detect, or how we are going to detect the malware, how we are going to detect the spyware, how we are going to detect and remove the viruses. All these things can also be considered under this network security, right? So like that we have different terminologies that are related to this network security. So is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
So we
sir.
started our discussion on this introduction terminology, and we have gone through the what a cryptography is. Actually, we didn't go deep into this cryptography. The next topic which we are going to discuss is based on the cryptography only. We have gone depth into this network security, right? The terminologies, various terminologies that we have, like internet, and what are the various topics that we can discuss under this network security, like the firewalls, the access management, the wireless security, malware detection, spyware detection, antivirus. All these things can be discussed under this network security, right? Now we are going to discuss the basic, the heart of our subject, which is called as the cryptography. Right. The definition of the cryptography can be given in many ways. If you go and browse the internet, you will get a lot of information or lot of definitions related to this cryptography, right? So a simple definition, we'll discuss one or two or three definitions, right? So a cryptography can be treated as a science of securing information by transformation techniques, right? Basically it is a science of securing information, right? How we are going to secure means you are going to transform the information into a scrambled text, or a text that cannot be understandable by the attackers, right? So if a text is intended for a receiver, that text should be received by the correct person, and he should be the only person who can access it and who can modify it, right? So this cryptography can be treated as a science of securing the information based upon the transformation of the plain text into the ciphertext, and similarly the cipher, and vice versa you can do it, so that only the intended recipients can process it and read it. So the main intention is the information should be read by the valid recipient or the intended recipient, right? It should not be known to other third party attackers. So if you implement any technique to secure the information or to transform the plain text into ciphertext, that we can call it as the cryptography, right? So the other definition can be like this: it's a process of converting plain text to a text that is not understandable by the third party users, which we call it as the ciphertext, and vice versa. This is another simple definition we can give for the cryptography, right? So it can also be treated as a technique. It is a technique to secure the information. So these are the various definitions we have for the cryptography. So you can make use of your own definition, or you can write your own definition, but the main intention of the cryptography should not be missed, right? The main intention of the cryptography is we want to make the information available for the intended recipient only. He can only access it, and he can only modify it, he can only process it and read it. That is what the main motto of the cryptography should be. So in order to achieve that objective of the data or the information that should be read only by the intended recipients can be achieved by the transformation techniques. You can transform one text into another text which is not understandable by the third party users, right? So is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we will discuss the three categories of cryptography we have. Basically, we will be any textbook or any information you take from the internet or any textbook, you will get only the two classes of the cryptography. One is the symmetric cryptography. Please concentrate, this particular topic is very important. You will get lot of terminologies related to this. Right, 1 minute. So the first category is the symmetric key cryptography. The second one is the asymmetric key cryptography. And the third category we have are the hash functions. Right. But most of the textbooks what we study, they will be concentrating only on the symmetric and the asymmetric key cryptography. It is also correct. The broad categories of the cryptography are the symmetric key cryptography and asymmetric key cryptography. Right. So we'll discuss each and everything, and we'll see what are the various algorithms we have under this various cryptography techniques, right? So the first category is the symmetric key cryptography. So by looking at this particular term, you can understand that this is a cryptography which is based on the symmetric key. What do you mean by symmetricity? We can take the analogy as same, right? Same key. So what are the two techniques that are involved in the cryptography?
Encryption, decryption, sir.
So the two main techniques that are used in the cryptography for transformation of information from the plain text to ciphertext is called as encryption, and the transformation of information from the ciphertext to the plain text is called as the decryption, right? So for encryption, what we'll use, what is that we are going to use for the encryption? We are going to use the algorithm, encryption algorithms. Similarly, the decryption is also performed by making use of the decryption algorithms. So both of them are nothing but the algorithms only. How we are going to perform the encryption and decryption means by making use of the algorithms, right? But in addition to these algorithms, encryption and decryption, they also require another term called as the key. Which is called as the key, right? So this key plays very, very important role in the cryptography. It should not be compromised. You should not compromise the key, right? The ultimate goal of any attacker is he wants to know the plain text. He wants to know what actually the sender is sending, the actual information, right? But as you are making use of this encryption and decryption, and this encryption and decryption based upon these algorithms, and these algorithms are dependent upon the key. Once this key is compromised, everything is gone, everything is lost. That is the importance of the key, right? So based upon the key we are using, the cryptography is categorized into two categories, that is the symmetric key and cryptography, and the second one is the asymmetric key cryptography. And coming to this symmetric key cryptography, the name itself is saying that it is symmetric key. That means you are going to use the same key for both the encryption and decryption. This is one of the important definition you should know. Right. So if we are going to use the same key for both encryption and decryption, we call such type of cryptography as the symmetric key cryptography. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. And we have only one key for both the encryption and the decryption. So at the sender side, he will be using the encryption with making use of an algorithm along with a secret key. And similarly, at the decryption side, he will be using the decryption algorithm with the same key. Right. Now tell me whether the key should be confidential or not. We have only one key, right? So that key should be confidential. Therefore, we can say that key as the private key. Is it clear? Private means it is it belongs to the person who is going to use it. That's it. So I have my private laptop. So that particular laptop has to be used by myself only. Right. For example, if you take the systems that are present in the laboratory, those are public. Therefore, the people who registers for the University College of Engineering Kakinada, they can make use, any person can make use of that particular system. So they are public. But private means it is owned by that particular person only. Right. They can be used, those entities or those components can be used only by those persons. That is the meaning of the private. Right. Now tell me whether the symmetric key cryptography is private or public. We have only one key, right? Is it private or public?
Private, sir.
Super, right. So it is a private key. So don't get confused with these terminologies. Symmetric key, we have only one key for the encryption and the decryption. So that key should be private. So if somebody says the private key cryptographic algorithms, you have to understand that it is nothing but the symmetric key cryptography. Right? Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
And let us go with the definition part of this asymmetric key cryptography also. Right. So it indicates, the asymmetric key cryptography indicates that it is the cryptography that is based on asymmetric keys. That means we are going to use two different keys, one key for the encryption and the other key for the decryption. We are not going to use the same key. If we are going to use the same key, we call it as a symmetric key cryptography, which should be a private key. And if we are using two different keys, one for the encryption and the other for the decryption, we call them as the asymmetric key cryptographic algorithms. Right. And since we have two keys, those two keys can be called as the public key. One key is public, they can be seen by anybody, and the other key is private. So we are going to use two different keys in the asymmetric key, which we call them as the public key and the private key. Right. So this asymmetric key cryptography can be also be called as the public key cryptography. Right. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So don't get confused. So if somebody says that public key cryptography, then it is it is internally you have to understand that it is the asymmetric key cryptography. Right. So if it is clear, we will move to the other categories of this cryptography, other categories of this symmetric cryptography as well as the asymmetric key cryptography. So now coming to the categories of, 1 minute, this symmetric key cryptography or the private key cryptography. Listen, this is what we are studying from the last previous classes, right? So this is categorized into two categories. The first category is traditional ciphers. right? What is the other category? Can anybody guess?
Modern ciphers.
Super, right? So this symmetric key cryptography is categorized into two categories. One is the traditional ciphers and the other one is the modern ciphers. The traditional ciphers means they make use of or they convert or they transform the information character by character. They are not going to work at the bit level, right? So for example, you might have seen the XOR operation in your first laboratory, right? You might have seen the mono alphabetic ciphers, or you might have seen the poly alphabetic ciphers. All these things comes under these traditional ciphers, where you are going to change the entire alphabet. Those are called as traditional ciphers. Whereas in the modern ciphers, they are not going to operate at the character level. They are going to operate at the bit level, right? So can anybody tell me what are the categories of these traditional ciphers? We have seen this thing, but you don't know actually that these are the traditional ciphers. There are two categories. Now tell me what are the two categories of traditional ciphers. Right, I'll tell you one thing. The first one is transposition. What is the second one?
Substitution, sir.
Substitution, sir.
Right. So the traditional ciphers are nothing but the techniques like the transposition ciphers and the substitution cipher. We know very well about this transposition and substitution. Substitution is a technique where you are going to substitute some particular characters with some other characters. Caesar cipher, right? Example is Caesar cipher. Transposition cipher. It involves the reordering of the bits or the reordering of the characters, right, from one position to another position. Rail fence cipher, vinaigrette cipher, all these things comes under this category, right? Now coming to the modern ciphers, as I told that they are more involved in the ciphering techniques for the bit level, right? So they are also categorized into two categories. The first one we call it as the block cipher, and the second category is called as the stream cipher, right? So we are discussing lot of things regarding this modern block ciphers, right? So modern block ciphers means they are going to consider the entire block, or they are going to group a number of bits into a block, and they are going to transform the entire block from the plain text to the ciphertext and vice versa. Whereas the modern stream ciphers, as the name itself is saying that it is a stream cipher, therefore they are going to consider r bits of input, and they are going to take r bits of keys, and they are going to generate the r bits of the ciphertext, right, where r can be a simple value. So these are the categories of the modern ciphers we have, that is the block cipher and the stream cipher, right? So the last classification, it's not the classification, examples of these block ciphers are, the first and foremost example for this DES for this block cipher we are going to study is the DES algorithm. DES stands for data encryption standard, right? What is this DES stand for?
Data encryption standards.
Data encryption standard, right? After this DES has been enhanced to produce another DES algorithm, which is 3DES, which we call it as triple DES, right? TDES or 3DES, right? And the other category is AES, the other example which we are going to study, we have this in the syllabus, right? We have DES and AES in our syllabus. We are going to study these algorithms. Right. So AES stands for Advanced Encryption Standard. What is AES?
Advanced Encryption Standard, sir.
Advanced Encryption Standard, right? So other than this DES and AES, we have Blowfish algorithm, right? And there are so many other algorithms that come under the category of this block ciphers. DES, AES, Blowfish. Please remember this terminology. So DES is one of the very important algorithm which is invented long back ago, but still it is a strongest algorithm, right? DES. So DES is an example of this block cipher. Similarly, AES and Blowfish are the examples of the block ciphers. Right. Similarly, coming to this stream ciphers, some of the examples we can quote is RC4. RC4 stands for reverse cipher. Reverse cipher. And like that we have many other algorithms. Right. Is it clear up to this point? So that completes the discussion on the symmetric key cryptography, where the definition goes like this: the cryptography which depends on a single key for both the encryption and the decryption is categorized as the symmetric key cryptography. And since we have only one key, that should be kept secret. Therefore, that key is called as the private key only. So therefore, we call this symmetric key cryptography as the private key cryptography. And this private key cryptography is categorized into the traditional ciphers and the modern ciphers. Traditional ciphers are the age-old ciphering techniques which we have discussed, that the categories are the transposition cipher and the substitution cipher. And coming to the modern ciphers, we have the block ciphers and stream ciphers. Under block ciphers, we have examples like the DES, which stands for the Data Encryption Standard, and AES, which stands for Advanced Encryption Standard, Blowfish, and so many algorithms are there, so many, right? And coming to the stream ciphers, we have RC4, reverse cipher 4, and TKIP, like that, and so many others are there which we can discuss under this stream, modern stream ciphers, right? So that completes the entire discussion on the symmetric key cryptography. And coming back to our discussion of the asymmetric key cryptography, as we have discussed that it consists of two keys. One is the public key and the private key. So these two keys are used, one for the encryption and the other if you can use it for the decryption. So that is the reason why we call it as the public key. And coming to the categories of this public key, we don't have any other categories for this asymmetric key cryptography, right? So we can have the examples of this asymmetric key cryptography like RSA algorithm. RSA stands for, it is an algorithm which is developed or which is named after their inventors, Rivest, Samir, and Edelson, right? So RSA, the first letters have been taken from these three. Others are the inventors, and they have named it as the RSA algorithm. So the other example for the RSA algorithm, the public key algorithm, is the ECC algorithm. ECC stands for elliptic curve cryptography. Very important algorithm. So ECC stands for elliptic curve cryptography. And we have one more example like DSA. DSA stands for digital signature algorithm. So we can call it as digital signature algorithm. Similarly, we have Diffie-Hellman algorithm. Diffie-Hellman algorithm, and similarly we have L-Gamal algorithm, and so many algorithms other than this, all these algorithms. We have so many algorithms that can be given as an example for the asymmetric key cryptography. Most important is this RSA, ECC, Diffie-Hellman algorithm. This Diffie-Hellman can be used for the key exchange algorithms also, and L-Gamal is also important, and DSA, which stands for the digital signature algorithm, are various algorithms which we can discuss under the category of this asymmetric key cryptography. So is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So under these hash functions, this is the third category, right? Most probably you will be getting information related to this symmetric and asymmetric key cryptography only. And the third category of hash, this cryptography, is the hash functions. The examples can be MD5, where MD stands for the message digest. We have other variants like MD6 is also there, message digest 6, and similarly most important of these hash functions is SHA algorithm. SHA stands for secure hash algorithm, right? And similarly we have whirlpool. Whirlpool is another hash function. Similarly tiger is another hash function. Like that we have so many other hash functions that we can discuss under this topic, right? So is this clear for you all?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, in asymmetric key cryptography, you said that use the public, sir.
No, we are not.
And you said
no. I didn't say like that. We have two keys. One key is called as the public key, and other key is called as the private key. Right. So we
sir,
can.
but where we use the public and where we use the private, sir?
Definitely, that we'll discuss when we go to this asymmetric key cryptography. This is just an introduction part, right? So after this completion of this modern block ciphers, where we will be discussing this DES and AES, then we will directly go into the asymmetric key cryptography, which comes under unit 2, right? There we will see what key is used for the encryption and what key is used for the decryption. All these things we can see, right? So right now
Yes,
you just try to understand what actually is asymmetric key cryptography and what actually is symmetric key cryptography, and what are the names, other names, synonyms we have for these keys. All these things you should know. That's it. This is just an introduction class where I want to induce you, or where I want to accustom you to the various terminologies and various algorithms that comes under this cryptography, right? So by this you can understand what cryptography is. It is a technique of securing the information, or it is a process of converting the plain text to the ciphertext and vice versa. Like that you came to know this cryptography, and after that you came to know the various categories of cryptography you have, like symmetric, asymmetric and hash functions. Various categories under this symmetric are the private key, like traditional, modern. Similarly various categories, all these things I just want to introduce you to various terminology that is related to this cryptography, right? We'll see what happens in this asymmetric key. All these things we'll see. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
after this I just want to give you one more terminology, right? One more terminology. This you can simply tell. Can anybody tell me what is a cipher? What is a cipher?
Which is an algorithm that performs encryption or decryption operations, sir.
Right. We can say it as a encryption, but it is in simple terms, we can call it as a secret code. Right? It is called as a secret code where you can scramble your message. It's not the actual term scrambling, right? You can it's a disguised way of writing your code. So whatever information you have, you just change it to other format, right? For changing it to other format, you need some code. So that secret code, we call it as the cipher, right? So whatever you told is also correct only, but the simple way of expressing what cipher is, you keep it in mind that it is nothing but a secret code, right? And the other term which I want to introduce to you is the crypto system. You will definitely come across this terminology, crypto system. So can anybody tell me what actually is this crypto system? Just a guess. No need to give the exact meaning. What do you mean by the crypto system?
The system where we perform this plain text to converting the plain text to ciphertext and all this.
Right. So it involves, this system involves both the encryption and decryption. That is what you are going to say, right? So it is the same thing which I want to tell you. So a crypto system is also called as the cipher system, right? It is also called as a cipher system. So whatever she told is exactly true, and every crypto system involves three components. Right. What are these three components means? All the three components are algorithms only, but one algorithm is for key generation, and another algorithm for encryption. What is the third component? Any wild guess you have?
Decryption, sir.
So algorithm for decryption, right? So during cryptography, in the previous slide also we have been discussing that a cryptography involves the encryption and decryption. So encryption can be performed by making use of an algorithm. Similarly, decryption can also be performed by making use of a decryption algorithm. For both of them to work, the encryption and decryption to work, they should have a key, right? So that key can be generated from an algorithm also. So there are different algorithms for the key generation. So if a system involves different algorithms for key generation, different algorithms for encryption, or different algorithms for decryption, such type of system we call it as the crypto system, right? It is also called as cipher system. So the ultimate goal is the same, right? We need to secure the information. That is our ultimate goal. So to secure the information, we are making use of the crypto system, which has three components: the algorithms for key generation, algorithms for encryption, and the algorithms for the decryption, right? So is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So in today's session, we have gone through the introductory terminologies related to the cryptography, where initially we started our discussion with what network security is, what network is, and what are the various topics that come under the network security, like the firewalls, access management, wireless security, malware detection. All these things we have discussed, right? And after this, we went to the discussion on very important topic, the heart of our subject, which is the cryptography. We have given three different definitions on the cryptography, where we can call this cryptography as a science of securing information, or as a technique of protecting our information, or it's a process of converting a plain text into a scrambled text which is not understandable by the third party user, which we are calling it as the ciphertext. And the reverse technique is also, that means the ciphertext to plain text is also called as the cryptography. Right. So every cryptography system, crypto system, we call it as the crypto system, involves three major components. One is for the encryption, the algorithms that are related for the encryption, and the algorithms that are used for the decryption, and the third component is the algorithms that are used for the key generation. Right. So the cryptography categories has been given as the symmetric key cryptography, where we will make use of a single key for both encryption and the decryption, which we call it as the private key. The second category is the asymmetric key cryptography, where we are making use of two different keys called as the private key and the public key for encryption and the decryption. Right. So the categories of the symmetric key cryptography are traditional ciphers and modern ciphers, and further the traditional ciphers are categorized into the transposition and the substitution, and the modern ciphers are further categorized into block and stream. So we have seen different algorithms that come under the category of block, like DES, data encryption standard, AES, advanced encryption standard, blowfish, and all other things. Similarly, under this stream cipher we have the reverse cipher for and different algorithms. And coming to the examples of the asymmetric key cryptography, we have RSA, which is named after their inventors Rivest, Shamir, and Edelson. And ECC, elliptic curve cryptography. DSA stands for digital signature algorithm, and Diffie-Hellman algorithm, LGAML, and others. Right. And finally, the hash functions like the MD5 SHA, which stands for the secured hash algorithm, Whirlpool, Tiger, and we have a lot of other hash functions also. Right. And finally, we have ended our discussion with very basic terminology, like what a cipher is. A cipher is nothing but a secret code, and crypto system is nothing but a system which has the three major components, like algorithms for key generation, encryption, and decryption respectively. So this is all about the introductory terminology related to the cryptography. So you might have got some idea related to what actually is cryptography is, and what are the categories, and what are the different algorithms we have. Right. So that completes the agenda for today's session. So this is end of today's session. Thank you, one and all.